Okay, so here we are back. I've already stranded my beads and we're going to make the same process. Okay, we're going to measure at the beginning. Like I said, I always measure with my hook. It's a little bit easier. You don't have to be exact in these kind of necklaces. Really, that's what I love about it. And these are my specialty. These are the kind of necklaces that I make most. So we're going to insert our hook in there. We're going to start stitching, making our first 8 chain stitches. And like I said, you have to maneuver a little when you make your first stitch. You have to maneuver your wire, and like I also said, you don't have to make your stitches that perfect. They don't have to be perfect. Okay, so I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now one thing I didn't tell you, I stranded 35 of these rose quartz beads. Rose quartz is a gemstone. You can use any shape of bead that you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be round. They can be square, they can have a weird shape. It doesn't really matter. I just tend to use round beads a lot because most of my customers like round beads, but I also incorporate these square beads, or I incorporate chips so that I can make my necklaces a little bit, have an interesting look. And of course I also use a lot of crystals. For this necklace in particular, I'm not using crystals, but I am using these square beads that have a lot of shine because they have an AB finish. So that's why I'm not using crystals this time. So once we've finished making our 8 chain stitches, we're going to pull up our first bead, and these are going to be, as the beads get smaller, your chain stitches are going to get easier because you don't have to give your wire that much of a big slack. You don't have to slack that much wire to make your stitches because the bead isn't really that big. So we're going to pull up each bead one by one, and we're going to make our chain stitch after each one. Remember that the wire has to be more or less the same width as your bead so that it doesn't crumple up at the end. It doesn't get all like have a weird curly effect. Okay, and I'll come back when I finish stitching this whole strand. Okay, so when you have different sizes of beads in one necklace, the best way to do to make the strand even is measure it up one against the other. That's why I always strand my biggest beads first. Now I'm going to measure these pink quartz ones against my first strand of beads and see if it's about the same size. And you can see that it is right now, and I still have beads left over here. Now these I'm just gonna pull them back, into the spool, and I'm gonna finish this strand. Okay, so we make our last, let me put this aside. I'm gonna make my last 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And remember the 9th one, we just leave it halfway in there, pull out our hook, measure, and add about 2 more inches, and then cut. Go back to where we left our unfinished hook, our unfinished chain stitch, and pull the wire through and pull on it, and that makes the knot that finishes the strand, and we put it aside. Now all we do is take out the beads that we did not use, and we put them aside for another project. And now we're going to make our last strand. All my necklaces use only 3 strands. If you and later on, maybe in another video, I'm going to show you how to make a necklace using seed beads. But that will be at another time, at a later time. Right now we're going to do this one. And for this strand, we're going to alternate. We're going to mix these 2 types of beads because I want to add a little sparkle. Even though these beads are pretty shiny, the pearls and the rose quartz, I want to add more shine. I always like to add some kind of crystal thing. So we're going to start mixing this. We put one of each into our strand, and we're going to put almost 40 in there because these are much smaller than these. They're smaller, so you know, we might need to knit more than the ones that we did for the rose quartz. So I'll come back and, you know, and I already showed you how to measure up against the biggest strand so that all 3 strands are the same size. I'll come back when I finish stringing all beads, okay? I'm back and I've stranded 45 or 46 of these. I mixed the beads. I stranded 45 or 46 of them, and the reason is that I'm not sure how many I will need to make it the same, to make this strand the same size as these other 2. So let's do the same thing. And the thing is also is because these shell beads, they all have really weird shapes. Some of them are very small. Some of them are very small. Some of them have really, really weird, funky shapes. Like this one here. It has a really funky shape. And then you have this one, like it's much bigger. So I don't know how it's gonna turn out in the knit when I finish crocheting. So I just want to be sure I have enough beads, because if I run out of beads and I'm not finished making the strand, there is no way I can add them. I could, but I wouldn't like the way my necklace. Okay, you could do it, but I will show you that trick later on. So we're going to do it. We're going to start this strand the same way. Let's measure, then 2 more inches, then just make that little loop, give it 2 twists, and then just put your hook in there and start making your first 8 stitches. The first one is always the most difficult one. Okay, so it's 1. I lost it. Okay, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we pull up our first bead. Okay, we are going to pull up our first bead, and like I said, as our beads get smaller, our crocheting gets easier because we don't have to pull that much wire to make it the same width as the bead that we're beading. So here, as you can see, I'm effortlessly just crocheting. I don't have to give it that much of a slack. It's basically with the wire that I already have in my hook. That's what I'm knitting with. That's what I'm making my stitches with. And it's coming out perfectly well. So I'll come back when I finish this strand in particular, okay? And then we'll put our necklace together. Okay, so I have come to a point in my crocheting where I think my strand is long enough. So I'm going to measure against my first strand to see if it's the same size. So I'm going to take the beginning and where I have my hook, and I'm going to put them together. And I'm going to take them and I'm going to run them and see if they are about the same the same length. And you can see that the smaller one is a little bit bigger than the pearl one. That's okay because it's only like 2 beads longer. And since we're going to have to maneuver our beads once we put our necklace together, I'm satisfied with that. If you want to make it exactly the same size, you can use less beads, and I still have beads strung on my wire, so I'm not going to use those. So we're going to finish this strand. We're going to make our 8 last stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then that 9th one where we leave it half done, we just pull a little and then we just measure our wire to cut it. There, and then just 2 more inches and just cut it. Now don't worry if this is not exact like I said, because at the end we're going to trim, cut to make everything perfectly even. So we'll take our beads out and we'll put them away. We'll go back to that stitch that we left half finished. We pull it through, we pull our wire, and we make that knot so that it does not become that we can't undo it. Now let's put all our tools on the side, and the next step we're going to do is that we're going to put our strands flat against our working surface, and we're going to maneuver and straighten that strand so all our beads are flat. Even our stitches, they're going to have to be flat, and all our beads are going to be facing up. Okay, so that's what we're going to do right now. You're going to have to twist a little, fix them. The stranger the shape of the bead, the more you're going to have a little trouble doing this, but it's okay, and you have to straighten your wire as well so that it's flat. And once this is done, all your beads should be facing up, okay? It's going to be easier with the other strands because the beads are round. So let's do this with the rose quartz. We're going to put this against the table, and we're going to put all our rose quartz beads, we're going to twist them so that they're all facing up. And this has the purpose of that when we put our necklace together, that we don't have any issues and all the beads look right. you know, that they fit perfectly well with each other. So we have this one finished. There you go. It's all finished. And now we're going to do it with the pearl one. Okay, so here we're going to put all our beads, all our pearls facing up, straighten them up. Be careful when you're doing this. Do it, you know, delicately, because we don't want to cut our wire. We don't want it to break. And so here we are. So we have our strand of pearls, and they're all facing up, and they're all straight. There you go. Okay? So what are we going to do next? What we're going to do next is we're going to take our 3 strands. Let me zoom back as much as I can. We're going to take our 3 strands. It doesn't matter which one you put in the middle, but I'm going to put the smallest one in the middle with the other 2 on each side. It really doesn't make much of a difference. What is important is what you do here. We're going to take the chain part, just the wires, where we started. We're going to take them. We're going to take them together so that they're all even. Okay, like this. And we're going to twist them. Let me put it to the other side because I'm right-handed. So this is what we're doing. We're putting all our chained wire together where it starts, and here is the wire where it's all straight, and we're going to take them and we're going to twist them. We're going to give them a few twists, and they have to be even twists, okay? Don't just twist them like whatever. They have to be twisted even. Okay, so here I made some twists. I twisted them. Here's the 3 wires, and here are my twists. Okay, and here's the rest of the wire, so it's still loose. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lay these flat on our surface, and we're going to make a braid. Okay, we're going to make a braid with this. First, we're going to braid together. We're going to braid the part that is just the wire part, the chain stitches, and then we're going to braid where the beads are. So if you've never braided before, this is the way you do it. Okay, if you want to put something here so that your wires don't move, that's entirely up to you. You really don't have to, but make sure that your wires are straight. Okay, here I can see that my the wire with my rose quartz beads is was a little bit twisted, so I fixed it. So what we're going to do is that we're going to pull the strand. We're going to put the strand that is on our farthest right. We're going to put it over the strand in the middle. Okay? And then we're going to take the strand that's on our farthest left and put it over that one. And I think most of you know how to braid. So we're just going to braid. Make a braid. Don't make it tight. make it loose. It's just, we don't want it really tight. We just want one over the other, making a very, very, very loose braid, okay? And here I have finished my braid. Okay, here I have finished my braid, and I have already come to the part where I have my beads. We're going to do the same thing with my beads. Okay? We're going to this time I ended with my smallest beads on the right side and with my rose quartz beads on the left side. So I'm just going to take my beads and pull them over the pearls that are the ones in the middle. Then I'm going to take my rose quartz and I'm going to pull them over these smaller beads. Then I'm going to take my pearls and then I'm going to pull them over those, and we're going to keep braiding them. Okay? And as I said, it has to be loose. It has to be a loose braid. Don't make it tight. And you can see the necklace coming together. These necklaces are a surprise at the end. You never know how your necklace is going to end up looking. Even if you put them on your working board, whatever, you never know what it's going to look like at the end. And as you braid, you're going to see that your strands are going to, twist and turn. Here you can see that some of the wire parts are showing. We're going to fix that at the end. Okay, so we're almost finished. And once you reach the end, this is very important. I'm going to show you right here. Once you reach the end, towards the end, you're going to see that one of the strands is always going to end first before the others. In this case, it was the rose quartz. You just keep braiding. Doesn't matter. Just keep braiding until you finish. And then you just keep braiding where the wire chain stitches are by themselves. Keep braiding loosely. Don't pull, don't tighten anything. Okay, so here we have reached our end. Here we have reached our end. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to again put our wires together and we're going to give them a good twist. Try to twist as evenly as you can. Okay. There. We finished twisting and our necklace is more or less finished. Let me pull the camera away a little bit so you can see it better. Hold on. There you go. Okay, so this is our necklace, And as you can see, it looks very, 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 it came out very pretty. I like the way it looks. I like the way the beads are mixing in together. And all you have to do now is just like make a few twists. Twist here, twist there. If you don't want any of your wires showing, you can just twist your beads like here. See how the wire is showing? Just pull your bead up and, you know, just open up your braid. Put those beads in there. You can make your necklace a little bit wider. Twist your beads a little. Put them in there. Pull out some of them. Whatever you want to do with your necklace, you can do. Okay, so like here I'm pulling in these. I'm pulling up these. There. Here, one of the squares is showing the wire. I'm going to twist it so it can show the little square. Here, I'm going to pull up this shell bead so it can show. In there. And then just sort of give it a roundish shape. And this is where I recommend that you put it against your neck to see how long it's going to be. Okay? Put it against your neckline and see if it's going to be as long as you want it to. Okay? If it is what you want, as long as you want it to be, that's perfect. Okay. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to, this is the base necklace. We haven't embellished it. It's just the base necklace, like the one that I made, the blue one. This is just a base necklace. So what we're going to do is we're going to twist all this wire. We're going to twist it to one thing I want to show you. If you look at the wires, they're not all even. If you put them all three together, they're not all even. One or two are always bigger than the rest. So we have to cut them so they are all the same size. So we're going to cut this one. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. We're going to just put them together. And here I can see that two of them are longer than the other ones. So we want to make them all the same size. Okay. So cut them, and they have to be, all three have to be the same size. And what we're going to do is that now we're going to start twisting our wires. We're going to start twisting our wires so that they are completely twisted up until the end. Okay. You can use your pliers to help you out with this. Okay, there you go. So once you have finished twisting one side, you're going to do the same for the other side. Okay, they do sell this one instrument, I don't remember how you call it, but it's battery powered, and what it does is you put your wires in there and it twists them for you. If and I have one, I just couldn't find it right now. So if you intend to make several of these, or if you want to dedicate yourself to do a lot of these, I do recommend that you buy this product. It's really good. It's not expensive. It's less than $35 if I'm not mistaken. So you know, it saves you a lot of twisting and hurting your hand, really, because you really do hurt your hand when you're twisting all this wire together. It's especially when it's the 24 gauge, it can really take a toll on your hand. So I recommend you buy this instrument. Just go to your favorite beading store and ask them for it, and they will show it to you. I think most bead stores carry it, or if you want to go online to one of those specialty shops, you can check for it, and you will get it there. Okay, so now we've come to the end of this, and we're going to put our beads that I said we would use instead of our caps, and this is the where we're going to put them. So we're going to try to introduce our wires, and I decided to use these. Okay, so I'm going to put these. Make sure that the hole is big enough to hold, you know, to go inside the bead, that you don't have issues putting them together, you know, putting them in there, because we don't want the bead to break. If it doesn't fit, if it's too snug, try to use another kind of bead. So here I have these two beads, and they look very pretty. Okay, so our necklace is pretty much put together, and now what we're going to do is we're going to put a clasp on it. Now this is where you're gonna make a decision. I have made the decision that I'm going to make a beaded clasp for this necklace, but right now I'm going to show you how to make the clasp with the same wire that we used for the necklace. Now I'm going to put it against my neck, and I can see that I have to start my clasps right here where the beads, where I put these beads at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a loop. Since I'm right-sided, I'm right-handed, I'm going to make a loop here. Just gonna do a loop like that, and I'm going to fold it against each other, and I'm going to make a few turns against the wire, and then I would just normally cut right here. I would cut, and this is the loop. Okay, and on the other side I'm going to measure about 1 inch and I'm going to fold once, and once I reach here a little bit before the bead, I'm going to fold again, make another fold this way, and then here I would cut. I would make a small loop with my round nose pliers. I would make a small loop with my round nose pliers, and I would introduce and I would cut the wire, of course, and I would introduce the round part. I would just go and put it through here, and of course it would go through this little loop that I would make here if this wire was cut, and it would look something like this. Okay, this is the way it's done. You fold it, and then you fold it upwards, and then you make that little loop right there, and then you just introduce it into your first loop. But in this case, since I am going to make a beaded clasp for this necklace, I didn't cut any of the wire because I'm going to need it, so I just showed you how to make it. Next video, I will show you how to make I will show you how to embellish your necklace so it looks prettier. We're going to do this, the front part of it, and we're going to be using, I'm going to show you what beads we're going to be using. So you can get any kind of bead. You can get a brooch, you can get whatever you want. But in my case in particular, I'm going to use these kind of beads that are like, I don't know, like flower petals. I'm going to be putting them around here, more or less. Of course, I'm going to take away these plastic things that they sell them with. I'm going to put those. I'm going to be using this brooch, and I'm going to put it right here in the center. And I'm also going to be using these two glass like pearlized squares, and I'm gonna put them on the side. So tune in for our next class, and I will be showing you how to do this. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for following. Thank you for I want to thank all my new subscribers and all the comments and emails that I have received from you guys. That really motivates me, and that's what really motivated me to come back, because I have a lot of work on my regular job. I closed my website, like I said before, because I really do more sales by word of mouth and by my tutorials that people watch on this channel. So I want to thank you very, very, very much for all your comments, for all your motivation. So I will continue doing this, and I hope you liked this tutorial. I hope it was clear enough for you, and I hope to see you next time, which will be in about a week. I hope to upload another video either in a week or in 2 more weeks. We're going to finish this necklace, and then I'm going to make the video tutorial on the peyote, the peyote stitch toggle bar, and then after that we're going to start with brand new projects that are really great. They're easy to do, they're amazingly beautiful, and I'm going to try to make my videos much, much shorter. Thank you so much for watching. You have a great day. Until next time, bye.